Hey, what's this, Umbrella here? And I'm giving you a review of episode 18 of Circuit Episode Food Wars, the third plate, second course, For Whom? And this is the episode where we have to find the conclusion, or at least, basically the conclusion between the circuit game between Soma and Hayama. Soma and Akira, I should say. I keep referring to the place with the last names, so I should have, but I just want to know the first names. Okay, Soma versus Akira, we had the conclusion. We also get to we lived on the cliffhanger last week what exactly was Hayama's dish look like, since he said chicken fried bear. We delivered it basically almost the same style of Soma's, or basically you can eat it with your hands and dip it into a sauce. But before the actual reveal of the episode and reveal of the food, we get small bit of flashback moments between Akira and Azami, after winning the battle, the winning battle royale, become member of Central. Become one of the villain the vacancies of Elite 10. Akira was promised the fact that he was promised that the Shinobi research flight will not be foreign attacked. Akira Azami said that of course it's going to be, he's well aware of that, but June's on the side of like me, you can't exactly trust him perfectly. You can't exactly trust Azami too much, or else he'll definitely stab you in the back. He's like, Dipple's not the kind of guy who would do that to you. But since Akira was also doing this for the sake of June for the research lab entirely, he kind of went forward to what June wanted him for him, which I'll get to exactly what June wanted from Akira almost for a time. But actually, what June wanted from Akira for all the time that he has been with her ever since high school got around, ever since the age of high school. Mostly says since like middle school, but it's mostly shown during high school, especially when someone got introduced to the picture. That was a nice little tease. I will get to that little moment there until I get to that. But the reveal of the food is like both Celia and Berta got a taste of the dish along with the uncle, Uncle Nakiri. I believe I forgot his first name, but apparently the way how their food was like, I was very worried going to this part in the anime, because the way how these two girls basically were treated as preteen students, or preteen, not even like full-fledged teenagers, just specifically preteen. It was a little weird to see them foodgasm, especially after getting barraged by older women and some high school students, which there's a fine line to get across between severe creepiness. And in this episode, we get to see the girls completely naked, clothes ripped off from their shoulders. Even though there was a point where there was even an episode where there was even a point in the episode we got to see them completely in their underwear. But thankfully, they put their clothes back on. I don't know when or how they managed to do it that fast, but they got their clothes back on. But still, seeing Celia and Berta just getting that banter was just, I have to cross the line there. But then in the end, Food Wars, kind of what's expected, kind of wasn't walking to this, but what are you gonna do? And speaking of the food, there was even a scene during the moment they took a bite of it. All three of them, actually specifically the girl, specifically pictured a bear with wings in the air. I'm like, okay, a bear with wings. I know I've seen it somewhere in a Zelda game before on the handhelds, but I get surprised that the first thing that comes to mind was a bear with wings. There's, what else happened in this episode? A lot of things to go down, especially particular moments. Oh, particularly, there's also a huge definition of the fact that the clothes ripping off, so you have two different forms of clothes being ripped off from the Nakiri family. For what Uncle Nakiri basically did, the first time was when Hayama did this one case without the sauce. I'll get to the sauce moment in a bit. It's just like Ging described that this is an ability within the Nakiri family, and how they pass to how a certain wavelength or like an energy around the body is transmitted through the body. Also across the ripping of one force around the clothes is called explosion, or the explosion, which is most likely a crazy nickname I can think of, but I think I did remember reading that somewhere in the manga, and I was thinking like how they're going to translate that into the anime. It looks like he messed it well. He said it was such enthusiasm, like emphasis on about how big this is. You can only imagine about anything else in the male and Nakiri family, specifically Izami, when we get to his point and later in the anime, that we're going to see basically what he called it in the blessing of the manga. Spoiler for those who didn't read the manga at this point. I'm pretty sure it's almost the same thing. I think the explosion and the blessing are basically, there are two different versions of that. While the second version, after when he tasted the dishes with the sauce, while the explosion is said in the name implies basically the clothes being ripped off forcefully, this version called the gift is called it's mostly more of a graceful biting. And the way how that was done was when they tasted someone's dish with the sauce. Apparently his sauce was a thing with some sort of berry he had mixed with honey in it. To kind of, he won both sides, and all three of them kind of explain exactly how this process was done. They're like way too many food analogy in order to get right into it. So he actually used the honey dip, some sort of honey we found in the wilderness, to add into the sauce to counter the only way to savor the aftertaste of the bear meat after taking the first bite of it. At least in some way. I may have butchered the way how they explain, but the way how they explain it, like so many food afterwards, that's kind of like a little too much to take for someone who's not even a chef, but just who's not even a chef, but does like to see how cooking is done. You always get to see all the different terminology and all the science that goes in right into it. I think terminology, all the I'm losing my mind here right now exactly for what I'm trying to explain exactly what like for a person who's not a chef going into Food Wars at this point. But apparently that was enough to give an edge, wasn't given enough an edge for Soma to gain over Akira. And when it was time, and by the time, before I even get to the decision making, the time when they tasted the dish from Soma's dish with the sauce, it appears the fact that while the first time with Akira's dish was the explosion, Soma's bite was the gift. Basically, when they took the first bite of his dish with the sauce, there's more of a gracefulness to their food. Like, sure, the clothes were gone, but it felt like more elegant, more graceful, like instead of just like someone like ripping their clothes off. It was like you just generally take it, or like how else take their clothes off without being too rough or there being any form of roughness involved. And that's how they manage, and that's the difference between the two. Oh, I've heard it mentioned before I didn't taste the sauce, though. Uncle Nakini basically explained the fact that Akira's dish was more superior than Soma's, and there was still a boxing match between the two. He felt it was over. He's like throw a barrage of punches at Soma. Then he goes for the knockout uppercut, claiming that was his victory. But then, of course, that was just the food raw without the sauce. Until the sauce came in, Soma came back to the ring and was like, no, this is not even done yet. We're close for a night. This is basically you want to put in boxing in terms of do for a 10 count. This would have been like the 8 or 9 count time where someone got up before the 10 count. Now, as for back to that, and I just said that the sauce was going to get somewhat of an edge. To Akira was like he was surprised about how so much to even get this far. He even like told Soma, why are you so where did this greenness come from? Where did this motivation come from to do what you did? Or like green because you want to beat me because you want to beat Central or something like that, or like you want to be the best. Basically, no. The reason he went this far into his dish is because he had his passion was to beat Akira. He did this for him specifically, where like I want to get payback for what you gave for the first loss you gave, for the loss you gave me, and I'm doing this because I couldn't stand you being distracted from you being blinded by Central's admissions. So he put all that in. So all that passion was put into his dish to beat Akira in order to see him truly see what he was missing. And by the time that happened, now the way he said it though, he said those words, not exactly the words I just explained, but exactly the way. But he explained like he got really right in front of his face. He just grabbed him by the shirt, pulled him face to face, told him exactly what he had to say, what he really wanted to say. Like Akira taste the dish. He didn't, but this is what you have the scene, and also the anime describes him tasting the dish, as he basically saw the light, the stormy clouds were spreading, were like departing, leading to the sun. The sun was still out. The sun was shining, and by the time after he finished taking the dish, June popped out. I thought June was he thought June was like an after image, but nope. June was, in order for that, this was June specifically. This is the real June. She just slaps Akira right across the face. That's the first time she's ever hit him before, and that's mostly tough. And meanwhile, even though that she is his guardian, June is considered calling it tough parenting, and she explains after the whole scene that she doesn't care about the lab, she doesn't care about all the technology of the funding or whatever. What she really wanted from Akira was to have fun in his high school years with his age, enjoy Joey's cooking, and he got in that from so many everybody else, from Alice, Rio, to all the members of the Pulsar Dormitory, to Erina, and to Alice, to her was like he was having fun, and that was what he was mostly missing. He was missing the fun times that he had with his high school friends, that Ju wanted that from him. And then finally, after having that big revelation, the decision maker was making that it was a one split tie between the girls. I think it was Berta who voted for Akira, or was it? No, I think. Okay, the long-haired girl voted for Akira, while the short-haired girl voted for Soma. I may have messed that up. But both the girls voted for one each, leaving to Uncle Nakedi, no one to decide the factor. And upon hearing, after noticing the fact that the only deciding factor was both the food itself with the sauce, Soma unanimously finally got one win over Akira, which he really wanted it, causing Akira to not only lose but get only kicked out of Central, and the fact that his kicking out was also linked to his expulsion. The expulsion was kind of a bit of a shock because basically if you were alone on Central, but then you lost to a rebel student. So eventually, due to the consequences of you losing, you're going to be kicked out of Central, but you're also being relegated to the rebel students and basically kicked out and also getting falsely expelled. And that's the time, and that was said by Ida, who is Azami's aide. I forgot to mention that also that Nakedi, when Erina came rushing in, of course she passed her part of the exam. She came rushing in to explain what happened to Soma. Her hair was all in a mess. She had a blush. Her face wasn't close to red because she was actually deciding on worriness that someone wasn't going to pass against Akira. But someone did manage to pass. And unfortunately, we get the biggest shocker towards the end of the credit scene. Well, this time during after credits, we got a confirmation that not only rebel students got defeated. So we've had Hisako, Ryo, the Polar Dormitory students, Nikumi, Isumi Aldini, and Alice getting defeated by the Adventures of Elite 10, and they couldn't pass. So eventually, those students I just mentioned are going to get expelled. But we didn't exactly know what he saw the scene between Megumi and Takumi. So we know that their fate is basically unknown to the rest of the audience, but those who read the manga know exactly what happened to these two. And upon hearing from the most majority of the rebel students also didn't fail and was going to get expelled, this kind of caused a bit of a huge, not only like a shock to both Erina and Soma in a way, but this caused a bit more of a spark for them to fight back. And next week's episode is this declaration of war, so we have to wait and see exactly how they were going to respond to their expulsions. But that's until next week. So until then, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, and see you next time in the next video. Laters!